Never in the history of this channel have I ever seen a company rise so fast, so quickly, coming out swinging and taking shots at some of the largest tool companies on the face of the planet and actually winning in most cases. And then all of a sudden they just seem to disappear overnight. But before I can give you my opinion on why I feel this company Flex is really facing an uphill battle, I have to give you some history first. So in the past couple of years, you've seen this tool brand Flex everywhere. And one of their claims to fame were their new battery technology stacked lithium cells. And basically it was like a cell phone battery being stuffed into these cases instead of the cylindrical. And then they came out with faster chargers. And then their tools really just sort of took off when it came to power and people were talking about it. And it was exciting. And you never really seen that sort of innovation so quickly for any company. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't like them at first. Now, when you think of Flex tools, you think about the tools that have been released in the last couple years, but they've actually been around since 1922. They started in Germany. Flex started off by creating the flexible shaft grinders, hence the name Flex, but their real breakthrough came in 1954 when they invented their first angle grinder, a tool that completely changed the game of metalworking and construction. That's right, Flex literally pioneered one of the most essential tools in any pro's arsenal. So Flex was already pretty popular in Europe. And then in 2013, Flex was acquired by Chervon. Not Chevron, Chervon.
Yay!
And let me tell you, Chervon is no joke when it comes to the world of power tool. Not only do they own Flex, they own a couple other brands that you might have already heard of. Ego, ever heard of it? Yeah, thought so, they own it. Skill, yeah, they bought them up, they own it. But what about one of the most iconic circular saws to ever hit the planet Earth? Skill saw. Yep, they own that too. And to be quite honest with you, I think this is one of the first missteps that Chervon actually made. You see, Skill saw was such an iconic brand at the time that a lot of novice woodworkers would just pick up a circular saw even if it wasn't branded by them and call it a skill saw. So instead of Chervon taking the skill saw name and expanding that with more power tools, they decided to purchase Flex and basically build the company from ground up over here in the States. I thought their marketing tactics were kind of tacky and they didn't sit very well with not only myself, but a lot of other people. It was really bad.
The time is now. The brand is Flex. And Flex, it's what's next. Round two.
They had this infomercial vibe to them and it just turned a lot of people off. But after getting to try them hands-on, I was really impressed with a lot of the things that I was seeing. However, there were some issues. Marketing. Now, a lot of people might not think marketing is important, but ever watch the Super Bowl? You see a Pepsi or Coke ad pop up? Well, that's marketing. It's bringing their face to your living room so they're recognizable. Chervon is horrible at marketing, and they're getting worse. Let me explain. Milwaukee Tool, one of the most popular tool brands, if not the most popular tool brand on the face of the planet right now, is there not only because they make good tools, but their marketing team is phenomenal. All right, so let's just talk about YouTube to make this point. Usually what happens is when a new tool is created and about ready to be released, a marketing newsletter will be sent out to many different creators. Number one, it lets everybody know that, hey, there's a new tool coming for Milwaukee or Rigid or whoever. They'll end up giving you some specs of the tool, how powerful it is, what it can do, what the purpose of it is, the price, the release date. It's basically like a movie trailer for a new movie. It's just giving you some information for you to see and get excited about. Then somewhere in between the release information and the release of the actual tool, Milwaukee will usually have a show. That's called Pipeline. It used to be called NPS, but a lot of creators get to go up and videotape all of the new tools, even though they're just demos, being used, so that creates buzz. But here's the funny thing about it. It doesn't really matter if we like the tool or not. They're still getting exposure because we're making videos about them. Remember, it's like Coke and Pepsi at the Super Bowl. They're still in your face all the time. And now going back to Chervon, they're the complete opposite. Number one, they would take all of their tools and release them all at the same time. They wouldn't spread them out, so they didn't really stay in the cycle that long. Which really never made any sense to me, considering that all you had to do was copy Milwaukee and Ryobi's playbook. Now, just a reminder, I'm only speculating on the things that I'm seeing and the feelings that I'm conveying to you. I could be 100% wrong about everything that has been said in this video. However, I don't think that is the case. And with that said, let's talk about creativity, which Flex also seems to lack. You see, one of the main reasons I was so excited about Flex is because they came out with the stacked lithium. And yes, they came out with this before DeWalt, even though DeWalt released theirs first. I know, confusing, but they really did create the buzz on this stuff. That being said, the more I reviewed Flex tools, the more I started noticing a trend. Yeah, they were just like Milwaukee tools, only painted gray.
I get that you want to copy some of the best brands out on the market today, but if you're going to copy them, you need to make it better. And even though I think this is better when it comes to the functionality, it needed to be a step above, and it just wasn't there for me. That's what's going to have people jump platforms from others to you. So if you're going to make a tool that's similar to another brand out there, make it 10 times better if you can.
Now, let me just say something. I know I keep bringing up Milwaukee, and there's no reason for it other than they really were going after Milwaukee. It wasn't DeWalt they were going after, or Makita. I know they were trying to carve out their own niche, but everything that you picked up, whether it was the stack pack stuff or the radios or the nailers, it just felt like Milwaukee. It just seemed like they were taking what was already being done by other companies and sort of redoing it their way.
Another issue that I have with Flex is Lowe's. Now, I know every store is different, but my local stores, which I have 2 of them, it's always the same thing when I walk into those stores. Number one, you have bad selection. Nothing is ever in stock at my local stores. And if you want the stack pack, you either have to order it online, or sometimes you can't order it at all because it's out of stock online. I think of Flex at this moment right now as sort of like the tough built of the power tool industry. Here today, not here tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. And this isn't a recent problem. This has been going on for years. And a lot of times when you walk into Lowe's, especially around the holidays, you go and you can see a nice DeWalt display or an Ego display or a Craftsman or a Cobalt display, but they never have anything set up for Flex. Or if they do have a display up, they don't have the Flex tool sitting next to it.
The next issue up, corporate, the old way of doing things. This goes back to the whole marketing issue that we talked about earlier, but it's so bad that I have to bring it up twice. Instead of bringing out their new tools and putting them out on social media for people to see, they're relying on the old TV commercial style where they will just put a TV commercial up on Fox News or CNN, and that's not really their key demo anymore. But in my opinion, I think it goes deeper than that. I think that they just don't want anything bad said about them. I think they just want to focus on TV commercials because you're never going to hear anything bad about the brand if you just focus on TV commercials. Everything's great. They're going to have the great graphics, but as soon as it gets in somebody's hands for a review, well, there might be something that we don't like about it. No tool is 100% perfect all the time, so they don't want to hear the criticism, it seems. So they just play it safe by putting up the TV commercials or the ads instead of actually letting people test the tools.
It's not real nice-like.
But what they don't realize is I don't think things work that way anymore. People want to see these tools being used. They don't want a fancy commercial on Fox News or CNN showing them that this is the best tool ever and blah, blah, blah. And last but not least, where the hell have they been? The last couple of tools that I talked about when it was relating to Flex were the nailers and their radio, and that was months and months ago. There have been no new tools being announced, released, talked about, or anything when it comes to this brand. It's literally like they had a meeting and was like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna make tools anymore, and if we do, maybe we'll just set one out every like 7 months or something. That does not help build brand recognition. That does not help build consumer confidence in your tools. That does not build a loyal fan following. What it does build is doubt. It builds frustration in your consumer base. It builds rumors and speculation of where your brand is heading.
Now, here's my final statement on this. Do I want Flex to succeed? Absolutely. The reason for that is because it helps keep prices of the other tool manufacturers in check. The more competition there is, the more we win. Think of it like the truck market. You have Chevy, Ford, Ram, Toyota. But imagine if Dodge stopped making trucks, GMC stopped making trucks, and Ford stopped making trucks. Well, that other company that's still making trucks can now adjust the prices wherever they want them because of supply and demand, and there's no competition. And I also want to state that this has nothing to do with the people that work at Flex. I've met multiple product managers at different trade shows, and they are all passionate about what they do. They really do want to bring the best tools to the market from what I was able to pick up from them. But if you have larger companies tying your hands and telling you what you can and can't do, well, that's always not real nice-like. That said, I'm curious to know what you think about this situation that I've talked to you about today. A lot of people decided when they first came out that they were going to stay far, far away from Flex. But there were others that decided to buy into this line, and unfortunately, you haven't really seen or heard anything lately. So what do you see some of the issues being with this brand? I would love to hear that feedback in the sweet comment section below. Also, if you like this video, I got another one for you right here. Smash that like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification because we always bring really cool videos multiple times a week for you to check out. We'll be back with more videos soon.